Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Jeremy. Go by / hashtag Malekith is dead to me. I will not play Malekith for quite some time. Failure. Hashtag failure. Failed to me. Dead to me. Period. Period.
And this is Aaron. I go by Treffenwood on Discord.
All right, welcome back. As you've noticed, Parker is missing, so we'll put him at 3,096 probationary episodes. He was doing so good getting that number down.
Did he tell us he was going to be missing this one?
He did not. He has not responded to any of my messages since we were supposed to start recording. So
bro, that's a no call, no show.
For wasting my time?
I'm fine with that. So
no call, no show.
3106. We definitely could have started half an hour sooner if he had just said he wasn't coming.
Also, once you shave his head once, that only takes care of so many episodes. This is a double shaved headbet zone. Double shave.
You have to shave it, grow it out too, and shave it again.
Yeah, like this is becoming a serious problem. He may need some help.
Do you remember when we looked up the amount of hair follicles on the human scalp to see how many heads he owes us?
I would also suggest we shave one side and then shave the other side like 2 weeks later. I would allow that.
I told him I was just going to take it 10 square inches at a time. I'm just going to do a reverse mohawk. It's just like, if you leave it, that's fine. But I'm taking the middle 2 inches.
The middle.
That's mine. Just right down the middle. Just skunk stripe it.
Looking good, buddy. Looking good, buddy.
Although AMG is taking their sweet-ass time releasing the next rival box, so there's a chance that he might get out of that bet. But I think we're going to hold him to losing it regardless. So. I don't think we had any news, did we?
Nope.
Cool. All right. So currently playing, I've gotten in a handful of games with my new Wizards, also known as the Convocation. I like my list. I've had some weird games, though, but also I'm playing against a lot of other people who are testing out new stuff, so it's kind of odd playing against all new stuff all the time. I think it's good for the game, though. A lot of people trying out new lists. I really like the combination of MODOK 2 and Ultron 2. I think they work really well together, especially in Convocation specifically. It's really hard to break up their little brick of positioning because MODOK can sack to either the Grunts or to Ultron. The Grunts dying resets the books. And so it's a really nice combo. And so if they do manage to split them up, because they both have like the helmet rule that Juggernaut has, you can use the leadership to bump back into range 2 of each other. So it's really hard to keep them apart. So I like that a lot. But yeah. Convocation's been a little bit better than expected, but not as good as hoped. So I'll keep messing with them.
Yeah, it's weird. I definitely was not expecting his humongous health pool. Ultron has a big old fat health pool.
He's a chungus.
Chungus.
He has even more health when you play Age of Ultron.
Have you been playing him with Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's almost an auto-include for him.
It's so good. It's because you put him in that spot, you're like, you can't attack him. Like, it's just so punishing if you kill him. Oh, and a cute interaction that I think very few people know about. When you kill him, and he plays Age of Ultron, you get to place 3 off of the tactics card, and then also use leadership bump. So he places 3, then places 1. So he can cross like the entire fucking table, basically. And so if you're trying to keep him alive so they can't kill him again, like say he was at 1, and you're like, oh, I'll just kill him twice. No, you're not.
So my relatively uninformed spicy take is that Ultron is overhyped and not as good as people think he is.
Yeah, I think people think he's like the new Boogeyman. He's definitely not. He's just good.
No.
I don't think you're wrong to have on your list, but I do not think... I agree with you. He's not anything special.
I think when we were originally talking about him, and I think someone had mentioned he had a place, he could move himself, I think that made him amazing, but since he doesn't, he kind of reminds me a lot of old Ultron. He's kind of a dirt clod, and being that he is kind of static, and his throw does cost 3, I was trying to compare him a little bit to MODOK, because he has a throw, he has a good range gun, and he does have a bow. except he's got a humongous health pool. I'm like, okay, is he better than MODOK? Because they're both 5 points, and you start looking at it. But his throw costs 1 more. He doesn't have sap power. Like, it's kind of...
So his throw does cost 1 more, but it throws size 4s. So I think it has to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have lower power gen. That's definitely a thing. Yeah.
I was just looking at some comparisons.
Mm-hmm. I find that he gets enough power.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have like excessive amounts. Mostly because his spender's freaking amazing, and so you tend to want to use it. Mm-hmm. I've definitely noticed myself overspending his power several times.
Who's spender?
Ultron 2.
In the right situation.
8 dice physical auto throw plus explosive force is pretty cute.
What's the range on
unless you're next to your own
range 3.
Explosive force is really bad.
You actually want to be next to your own grunt though. Sure. So you throw them into the grunt, then explosive force blows them up, which does damage back to the person that you threw into them, and then you gain power because they took damage from it, and then you throw a piece of terrain into them and resummon the grunts. So your grunts could activate, double attack, do a collision damage, then die to an explosion, dealing a damage back, generating him a power, which then helps him pay for the throw, which then resummons them. I think it's a really cute interaction. Sure, it's very rare gonna happen, but...
Right.
I think he's an interesting model. I don't see anything that makes him, or makes me believe that he is anything but a really good 5-pointer. I don't see him breaking anything. And I've played against him. I played against him a few times. And yeah, he's a pain in the ass, but he's definitely manageable. You're like, okay, he can do these things, and I think his bow is probably the most interesting piece. The fact that they included bow on a model, I'm like, okay, that's a new one. Got to get used to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't expect it either. Mm-mm. Like, it's very weird inclusion in his kit.
But I think I'd rather that he has bow than a place.
You mean to make him be a fair model, or like if you wanted to play him, you'd rather have a bow than a place?
I would like to play him. I would rather that he be able to place himself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would make him insane.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you.
But yeah, it makes him more fair that he has a bow. That's okay. Like, you can manage yourself around that, and when he's going to activate. Like, you can kind of keep track of him.
Yeah. So my second 9-point package that I was running in Convocation was Cable plus Psylocke, which was also good. I like that they're a little bit more self-sufficient than the MODOK and Ultron plan. I feel like Ultron MODOK is more of a brick plan, and if you get a centralized scenario, it's really good. But if they have to spread out, they definitely don't like that. As where Cable and Psylocke don't really care if they have to spread out. So I like that as an alternate package. The fact that it's the same point total is nice.
That group scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, no, Psylocke is super good in Convocation. Magic is doing the exact same thing as she did for me last time, massively underperforming despite, statistically she should do good. I played a Poldock on somebody and put like double spender into them, and I think my highest number of hits was 3. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, this is just bad dice, and I know, but it's just frustrating.
You're cursed. Maybe she's just cursed for you.
I think she is. Like, it's just annoying. I repeatedly watch her fail in situations she should excel.
I usually find that all she has to do is use her tactics cards, place someone, incinerate them, and then win the game that way. Like, she usually doesn't have to do much more than that.
It's so hard to justify getting it in the 5, though.
I probably, yeah. I mean, she tends to be able to spend 1, place herself 1, do something productive, walk somewhere, and then spend her card. Like, her shenanigans she can pull for a 3-point model is pretty epic, at least for a turn. A turn of epicness, and none of that has to do with fighting. And she
like,
can
statistically,
also fight.
Like, you look at the math, and like, she should hit harder than Psylocke. Like, in a vacuum. Like, her attack is better than Psylocke's attack. But then you do it, and like, Psylocke just hits harder, despite all the math, and it doesn't make any sense.
I think you're gonna have to... Well, whatever.
Are you gonna... So you're not taking that to Warfare?
No, I'm not playing Combo Warfare. I'm gonna play Webs. I think my combo list is way too raw to do well.
Gotcha.
I do think it's fun to play, though.
Well, I ditched all the Killy models and started playing more Killy models with Magneto
Nice.
and friends. But what I found to be amazing was just playing a whole bunch of threes, basically, and they all run around and take objectives and don't really have to fight to make a game exciting for me, which was a completely new and different exciting feeling than I've had in the last year and a half of Marvel Crisis. So
Welcome
it
to
was
the dark
like,
side.
I know, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, your roles matter and mine don't? This is insane.
Just imagine if Jeremy ever decides to play fucking Sam. He's like,
It's
what?
over.
You just stand here and win?
I can just stand here and
Doesn't
laugh
even
at
make
you.
sense.
No, bro, I think you should roll. But I'm having a blast with it because it does that list really well, and it also can pull a different trigger, which is, it can fight. Like Magneto will always be the original, like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of stuff. He doesn't do it as good as some of the new ones, but he still can throw a bunch of stuff, do a bunch of attacks, and produce a lot of damage if he wants to, which is cool. It's cool to always have that. And I'll be taking that to Warfare. I put Amazing Spider-Man in there. The rest of it is pretty standard issue stuff, I think. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Aaron. Quickly tell us what you're playing at Warfare.
I had no fucking clue I'm playing at Warfare.
Yeah.
God.
When did I last play? WTC? No.
MCP?
Yeah. Trying to figure out what I've
played
been playing since
Thursday.
Since we cast last time.
Oh no, I remember what you were playing. It was
oh yeah. I played Hydra and Wakanda.
Yeah,
last Thursday. So since then I've played Wakanda, Cabal, and Avengers. Perrin and I created a Red Skull 3 and a Steve 3 list. And we've been playing them against each other and swapping off who plays what each time. So that's been kind of fun.
Do you just like get up and walk around the table and sit back down?
No. I have my side. Yes, we just pass models.
Oh, okay. You move the models.
yeah.
Get off my side.
Exactly. Red Skull is actually up 4-1, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think Steve was the flash in the pan that people are going to get over pretty quick, and I think Red Skull is the sleepy one. I think he's better than people think he is.
I think they're both pretty good.
Yeah, but in first read through, everyone assumed Steve was way better.
So, I don't know if I'm going to take one of those to Warfare or not, though. Just like you and Combo, they're both very raw. I played them each like 2 times. I have a list concept. I have nothing that's, I don't have answers from a list. I don't have any of that. I just have a list concept, which is not going to get me very far.
What do you feel about Wakanda?
Same thing. If they get what they want, i.e. Prio with a 17, they're really good. But my Wakanda, anyway. Without that, it gets a little tricky.
I mean, not saying that you should just net list, but what if you don't play your Wakanda and you just play, like, the Wakanda list?
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay, fair.
I refuse to net list ever.
Well, I mean, is... Sam Pictures.
So, you could argue that, whatever. So, for me, net listing is just taking a list you find on the net and just playing it, period.
Sure.
Right?
Well,
like,
when
it's
I talk
impossible
about
to play any affiliation in the game without having to take inspiration from something, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I wasn't saying, like, go copy X person's list. I'm just saying, like, in general, what if you played a more standard version is kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
I take my inspiration from Cosmic Ghost Rider killing things.
Yeah.
I take my inspiration from Longshank's ranked lists. No, everyone knows I fucking hate net lists more than anybody, so I'm never going to tell somebody they have to do it. I'm just saying, like, I know that your list is nice and unique, and I think I had a little bit of help coming up with it.
You did.
And so, like, I like that list, but it's considering you're going to an event tomorrow. Like, probably don't have the time to test it and make small revisions, but...
Well, the issue is I don't know. Like, there are like 3 characters in that list that are TBD. I mean, obviously I have people in those spots right now, but are those the best 3 characters I could be taking? characters 8, 9, and 10, and what matchups are they bad into. I don't have the experience.
Yeah, you don't have the reps to make those decisions.
Correct.
Okay. Would you like to talk about a list that we could take? Like, I know in the past people have liked our JoJo episodes where we try and come up with a list.
Give me a minute to think about that.
Okay. Well, I guess then in the meantime, Jeremy, what's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bike and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? It is the attire. The attire.
I got it. I'm just trying to think
Attire.
if you need get props for this, or I'm mad.
You should be mad.
You seem pretty mad.
It wasn't even proper English.
Yeah,
Attire.
That was... The other one was much cuter. I like the other one better.
Fine.
Yeah.
The ghost one was even like Halloween related, so you don't even...
Oh, you want Halloween dad jokes? Well, hold on just a second.
Everyone, hold your butts.
Everyone hang on to your butts.
Hey, Jeremy, why do skeletons have low self-esteem?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, they have nobody to love.
All right, quit that shit. I'm out now. You've lost me.
Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts.
All right, that's enough. That's.
I like that one. I think that one's good. That was A triple plus right there.
That was an S tier for sure.
S tier dad joke. It's coming in hot.
So you played Red Skull 3, Captain America 7. Have you played any more? We talked about Ultron, New Ultron. Any other new models we've played against, talked about? I know Bucky. I've seen Bucky on the table a couple times now.
I've played against Bucky a lot.
Yeah. How you feeling about him?
Killbox is annoying, but turns out it was always annoying. It's just on a model that can actually afford it now.
Which one's Killbox?
It's the Green Goblin Tricks and Traps.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What is the card that he has now that he attaches that gives cover and like something power?
Soldat Activate. It makes it to where you choose an active leader in your team.
Yeah.
When he activates within range 2 of that model, it heals 1 and gains a power. Also, anytime they attack them, the leader model, that model gains cover, and after the attack is resolved, you can pay 2 to shoot them back.
So that's any leader he can be a part of?
Yeah.
No, there's only 3 affiliations. It's tied to 3 affiliations.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Cabal, Hydra, and Crimson.
I did like that ability. I thought that was a cool tactics card.
It is. I am much more down on Bucky than other people are, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think he's particularly great. I just have played against it a lot.
Yeah.
People are trying it.
I
there are definitely card synergies there. It's not bad, but it's not what I want my 4 to do. I don't want my 4 to be tied to another model.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting back, shooting.
One of the games I actually won was against... It was pretty funny. He was strapped to a Red Skull 3, and then I just left them to hang out together. I'm like, "How you guys enjoying your 8 points? I'm out." Just left them. How about New Zemo? I played against him for a minute. He was okay.
Lower end of power curve.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed at all.
His little Pierce is awfully stabby.
He is not as bad as some people said he was, but he's definitely not impressive.
I mean, it's a 5 dice Pierce with a reroll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to be 7 dice if he gets in there, right? The problem is he has 0 defensive tech and shit all. Whatever. He's got 0 defensive tech and shit all for stamina. So
he does have 11 hit points, which is pretty average
for a 4. That is not average for a 4.
It is. It's low for a 4. I'll give you that, but
you.
it's average for the game.
Sure. For his threat, he'd be a great 3, right? But
he's got
for
11
a 4,
points of defensive stats and a reroll. I think he's not impressive. No one's going to argue that, but he's meant to be squishy, right? That's his design space.
Sure. I just don't think his offensive output is enough to overcome how squishy he is on defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And the fact that his offensive output is tied to being within 2. So I think you either need to do nothing but shoot the gun under Steve 3. That's a viable play pattern. Or you need to be in 2, attack, and then quick step out of combat.
Yeah.
And I don't love that just for a play pattern, but I think it's necessary because everything else I've done ends up with him dead way earlier than I want him to.
I think the play pattern you're supposed to have is that you shoot people with the gun until they get annoyed and move up and attack you, and then you stab them twice.
Stab.
And then walk away.
Yeah, you can move after.
Yeah. So I think there
also,
are some play patterns.
You might get to move. You might get to move short and medium, right? Because his sword attack has the move potential.
Sure. He also has a fucking horrible spender, so.
He does, which just means you get to use the builder more often.
Sure. So I don't like the fact that his gun is just a slot machine.
Yeah, it's weird. His gun is weird. I had to ask about that several times. I'm like, it does what again?
Yeah, anything it wants, maybe.
Yeah, kind of, sort of some stuff. I'm like, so he stabs. He just stabs
either
out?
nothing
Okay.
or you fucking hate this guy. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's why I really don't like him is because of that concept. The
Yeah.
same issue I have with CGR. He either owns the game or he whiffs. And CGR is like 90% owned, but a 4-threat model should not be able to just stagger your 2 of your models every turn. On the other hand, maybe he like whiffs both the attacks and there's nothing. So I don't know. I'm sure some people like that. Just not me.
Have you guys played against? Those are the only ones I've played against or with so far. You guys seen
played against
Octopus or anybody?
Captain Marvel.
Okay,
once.
how'd she do?
She did not perform. That's because I scored the game out before she could really do much. I again think she is great in very specific affiliations and crises. Like you have to get her in binary or she's not a 5. Like she's either a 4 or a 6. If you can keep her in her binary form, which is 6 threat, right, then she's amazing. But how do you get her there before turn 3? So many games have the game tilted in a certain favor by the end of turn 3 that if she can't get there, it's just super rough. And she often needs to be in binary on 2, which is super hard. Unless you're feeding her power with Inhumans or A-Force. There's some places I would love to see her, but I haven't yet. Anyway, That's my 2 cents on her. Can be great, but it has to be the right situation.
So I've played against Winter Soldier twice. I played with Ultron, I think 3 times. I played against Red Skull twice. And I played against Steve once. And Zemo once. Steve seemed annoyingly good, but not like amazing. It's mostly just, are you going to, is it ever going to fail you on a turn you really need it? Is kind of what it feels like his plan is.
The answer is yes.
Him not having bodyguard is actually pretty noticeable, I think.
So I think Steve is super good. Go ahead.
I think Steve is super good, but I think the answer is when you absolutely need it, he is going to fail you. You can't guarantee yourself a hit, mostly. And most of the time it's usually pretty good, but it does cost power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was several times in my game against Kenny where he either didn't have the power when he needed it because he had just paid for like a spender. And part of that might be on planning, right? Like he's got to know that he can't do the spenders in those situations. But a lot of time it's like, you got a spender here. Like it's the only play and you just happen to only have 3 power. And then there was another time when he rolled 2 skulls and 3 hits, and it was just like, okay, so I mod one of my regular hits to a wild, because I need the wild trigger here, because he built his list with a bunch of people that need wild triggers, and so it's just like not as efficient as you think. And then it's only once per turn, so you get in a situation where you're like, do I use it here? Do I save it for the next attack? It's kind of odd. I don't know. It's not as good as everybody tried to advertise it as. Now, it definitely is good. It's not like he's a bad leader. He's going to see play and he's going to be good. He's just, not the second coming of Jesus like everybody said he was going to be.
I think the jury's still out on that.
I think Pierce models with him just rip your head off. I think they're just insane.
What'd you say?
I think Pierce models are insane with him.
They're definitely good.
So, Parent and I took the build a different way. We went with pure control. Let me tell you, that shit sucked to play into.
With Maw?
No. It's Sam list, which has all the displacement models, and then you take out I forget which, like Hulk and Dynamo or Hulk and Widow, and you put in Cyclops and Steve 3. So it's like Steve 3, Cyclops, Voodoo, Sam, and Luke Cage. Luke Cage is hitting staggers on a 40% rate at that point. Sam is fucking stupid when he gets to, oh, I just need to do one more damage. Oh, look, I guess I'll do another damage and I'll throw in a wild. I guess I'm going to push you and Ricochet and do it again. Voodoo can get another double trigger to throw. Cyclops is the worst because he needs a wild for both Sound of Sight and the push. So he is just pushing, like, the entire, that list is just stupid to play against. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem pretty brutal.
Yeah. And Steve himself, he doesn't have bodyguard, but you just play him super aggressively. He's really hard to kill on his backside when he's rolling 6 dice counting blanks. And if he can get rolling with some of his own ricochets, he gets his power train going. I don't know. I think that list has some definite legs. I actually think that's the better version of Steve 3 is Control versus the Valkyrie, Logan, Wolverine. I'm just going to do a bunch of damage with my triggers, which is the initial route I took. Right, let's play some Gamora and Valkyrie with Steve 3 and just murder the world.
You're like murder the world and also push them.
Well, then I dropped all the murder bots. I was like, what if we just go to push? Like, oh, this is how I play the game. There we go.
I'm pretty sure a Sam that throws 16 dice every time he rolls and also pushes you is probably murdering things.
It's true.
Especially since one of them is a hit and a wild. Every time. Oh my god, I hate Sam. Speaking of models that need to get fixed, god damn it.
Sam is the problem.
He's my problem. I don't like Sam either. Put him on my list.
He's not fun to play against, but I mean, he's a solid, very, very good 3-pointer with a good leadership, but it's mostly just a 3-point leader in Avengers is really all that matters.
But yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you're seeing some new things. I really like seeing new things on the table. I like seeing new combinations on the table, whether they're good, bad, ugly, whatever, man. Just seeing new things, especially after this dry spell we've had for a while now.
I mean, that was mostly self-induced. So.
Correct.
Okay, if we want to build a list, the only list that I haven't built that I'm really interested in is the CGR displacement one. Does that sound interesting?
Is it? I just don't see how it's the best way to do it. Like if, I'm trying to think, let's say on average he gets 4 power a turn. Couldn't you just do the same thing with Hulkbuster? It's just 2 guaranteed displacements a turn.
But Hulkbuster has to start within 3 of whoever he's displacing.
Sure, but he's got hit and run, and you put him pretty far forward. Say if they just never move to within range 3 of Hulkbuster, I think you can just win the game right there.
I think my issue is that it's a lot easier to backstop yourself than just to forward stop yourself. I don't think you're necessarily 100% wrong. Say what?
I don't think you're wrong on that, but I mean that's also assuming that you're moving a lot with CGR, and if he's not attacking, he's generating less power. And I don't know how much you can really afford to be placing everywhere if you're also trying to drag everybody. I don't know. I don't know how valuable that concept is. If you're spending 6 points on a model that just moves 2 people, it's like you could just take Gwen, and she kind of does that.
Well, it's not just that, right? There's the threat of combat.
Mm-hmm.
There's whatever my opponent decides they have to try to drop into that list. If they think I want to try to fight them and I don't.
Sure.
I mean, I like obviously his mobility, right? He can double move, place, and pull. And assuming I get, let's say, 5 power through dice rolls on turns 1 and 2, along with 2 power ups, I'm going to be at 7 power. So at that point, I could move twice, bump once, and pull 3 people off points. Turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, having psychosis for super defensive rolls, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a stupid idea or anything. I've never thought that works. I mean, you're down a contesting model that's cost 6 points. I just feel like you could accomplish that better elsewhere, but I do like the concept that it's, it's kind of like the catch-22. It's like, well, if they plan on me not fighting them, I get to fight them. And if they, plan on board control, they're plan on fighting, then I get to play board control. Like, it's like you can just do whatever they're least set up to defend against. So I get it. I don't know. I just don't think if I don't see how that's the best use of his resources. That's why I always lean towards other things like Hulkbuster and stuff like that.
Okay.
But if you want to build that list, I'll help you.
Like I said, if I choose to take Wakanda, Cabal, or Avengers, I have those built, so I don't need to build another one.
What would be the core of a list like that?
I don't know. That's why you have to start.
Yeah, yeah.
Clearly, you're dealing with a small point core. So what's the best affiliation that gives a small point core that, in my mind, has displacement and tough models that isn't Avengers?
You would start with Wakanda.
Okay.
You also get Spirit of Wakanda on turn 1, so you have even more power. You get more board control like Black Panther and Shuri.
Okay.
I would imagine your 17-point drop would be M'Baku, Black Panther, Shuri, and Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Okay, I can get behind this.
So I guess the question is really just, can you afford to drop any one character in your Wakanda list for Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Sure. Then do I need to change any of my missions to make that work?
You already playing one of the high-scoring ones, right?
Yeah.
What are your missions?
Let's see. Let me open it real quick. Wakanada. The missions are... Spider Infected, Struggle for the Cube, and Scrolls.
What about your blues, since CGR is more relevant?
Scoundrels, Infinity Formula, and Riots.
Well, I always like a good Mayor Fisk, but getting CGR stunned seems bad. It only really affects his die roll, though. Unless, he's getting attacked a bunch. Then it matters a little bit more.
Okay, I mean, I think those missions are all fine for him. The only one that I question is Riots. I think he specifically loves Scoundrels and Infinity Formula.
Yeah.
Although, with Infinity Formula, I really need to go 5 wide to take advantage of it. And that's going to be difficult. At the minimum core of 9 plus 6 is 15. I could do it.
You could
with
swap
Toad.
one of the 4s for Koye and pick a 2.
Toad.
Toad's fine. You could Toad's probably your best option.
He's already in the list, so
Yeah.
So that way I have someone to sit on the point that he goes to steal. I actually like that. I think I like that a lot. Okay, so who gets the boot between Crimson Dynamo, Thor, and Beta Ray Bill?
Dynamo's only for if you get stuck on like Researcher.
Yep. So now if I have CGR, he just gets to be the Researcher?
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, you're clearly never going to play Dynamo and CGR, and if you're playing Researcher, I imagine CGR is a pretty easy include. Yeah. What was the other 2 options?
Thor and Beta Ray Bill. Beta is only there for like an eyes play with Scrolls.
I would imagine that Jeremy is very pro Thor and Wakanda.
That was pretty amazing, man. It was cool.
Well, so here's a question. Are you running Vibranium Shielding?
No, but I should.
If you're playing CGR, I think you should.
I have yet to ever run Can I Borrow That? But that's largely because I've just flipped spiders instead of cube every time.
Yeah. Do you think you play it on cubes? Or do you think you just run away with your cube you already have? Because once you get 2 cubes on Quicksilver, he goes down pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens on like turn 3, the game should be over. But yeah, that's fine. I can get rid of Can I Borrow That? So I think I still play Brace as the second restricted. Alrighty, I fall back.
Yeah, the only thing I could see you playing over Brace would be Sack. But you don't really need Sack.
I'm actually tempted to get rid of Usurp the Throne. It causes half the times more problems than it.
Yeah. You only get victory points if he kills them, not if they die that turn.
Correct, he has to kill them.
He has to do it, yep.
You play it on his turn, or you just play it active?
It is active.
Yeah, he has to do it. It's not easy to do.
How many games would you say you're playing Killmonger anyway?
So, without CGR, he gets played in the majority of my games. I usually run all of the Wakandan 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Really, because that just makes... it gives me options with Jabari Chieftain and Wakanda Forever. I mean, the TTS League game I played earlier today, Killmonger charged Miles and just one-shot him turn 1, and that flipped the whole game. So there's not a lot of models that can do that. 5 dice Pierce is pretty nice, as you were just mentioning. And then he kind of makes the game about him. Like, oh, well, now I've got a kill count. Like, you better kill me or you die.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he is relatively killable. So he's usually the third Wakandan I take. How about that?
That's fair.
The 4. Like, I usually take M'Baku and Black Panther before Killmonger. So, yeah, I could get rid of Usurp the Throne.
Yeah, because if you already got Jabari, I doubt you're playing Jabari and the other one in most games. In some, probably.
That's my problem with the list has been I've been having too much offensive fun. Because I take R&D and Spirit of Wakanda for the turn 1, and then it's usually Jabari Chieftain or Usurp the Throne of Wakanda Forever, which is nothing but gas. It is pure gas all the time.
Well, I think it's important that Wakanda has gas, because if you try and play them like webs, they're, I think, slightly worse webs, but if you play them as like the combined arms list they are, I think they're very good.
They need to have a Wakanda Forever turn. Those 2 cards really help. But I think I could ditch Usurp.
It's expensive. I find it's rare that he has the power to play it conveniently unless he's hit an early spike. If he's hit an early spike, you're already playing from ahead. So
I said half the time I get to play it, and half the time it ends up being a dead card, just because of either they have a good target for it, but they always have prio and they just kill Killmonger before I can do it, or like they have ASM and their first move is to move double long away from Killmonger, and I just am never matched up against their 5. But the times it's useful, it's really useful, right? 2 victory points plus the extra dice for 3 attacks.
Sure.
So,
why don't you run through the full list for people listening at home? I know we've been talking about it, but
sure. We'll start with the characters. 5 Wakandans: Black Panther, Killmonger, M'Baku, Okoye, and Shuri. I am leaving out Storm, notably. 2 splashes that make the 17 Fs super good with Spirit of Wakanda, and those are Toad and Quicksilver. Bottom line, if I have prio on an F extract, Toad will go first, place advance R&D to Okoye or Shuri, who will play Spirit of Wakanda. Toad grabs the middle extract and just hopes to live. My opponent takes whatever they want, and then Quicksilver is able to use his superpower Speedster to move along, grab whichever back F they didn't take, and then move back long again.
For those people listening at home, advancing long 3 times and still having power left over is really not fair.
It's not. It's really good. And then a savvy opponent will be like, oh, well, if you're going to take mine, then I'm going to take yours. And so they'll just double move someone to take mine. The problem with this list, for them, is that I have Black Panther, Killmonger, and M'Baku with 3 power each. Okay, would you like to get charged by any of them? Usually the answer is no. Most people can't punish you super hard, but I've got 3 models. Well, M'Baku really can't, but the other 2 really can punish you pretty hard. Like
M'Baku does a good enough job.
He's fine. He's rolling 5 dice. Killmonger is, depending on where he's lined up, he may double attack you with a charge online. And at that point, you're probably dead with 5 dice followed by 7 dice pierce. Killmonger can move and mantle, get 1 power from the attack, hopefully, and then be able to leap into you. Like, there's lots of damage that it can put out if you choose to steal my back ones.
The really silly part is because of all the extra power they have, like, they can guarantee double attack you on turn 2, even if they don't have charges. Because they just walk at you and play Spirit of Wakanda. Or, sorry, Wakanda Forever. Like, it's silly that they have so much power that all of this stuff is online when you have 0 options.
Yep. So anyway, that's why Toad and Quicksilver are in the list, because at 17, on those Fs, they can make a killer team with the Wakandan core. And go up usually 4-1 on extracts while maintaining parity on the secures. And it just starts to tempo from there. Along with that, the 3 that I had in the list were Crimson Dynamo, Thor, and Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill is in there in case at different point totals, Toad will fall out and Beta will fall in. And Toad can take the center and be relatively safe because he can take it at range 2. Beta is there in case Toad isn't, so that I can play eyes with Beta and do the same thing. And then be more tanky than Toad is. The problem is, I can't, since I have Toad and Quicksilver, I can't add another non-affiliated member, because I'm usually running 3 Wakandans. So at that point, I have to upgrade either Toad or Quicksilver. Anyway, Dynamo is there for ease, as you said, and then Thor is there as a big beater in case I wanted to run him, even though I have not yet.
It's pretty good in Decisive Force, I hear.
Indeed. Tactics cards are Advanced R&D and Brace for Impact. I had Can I Borrow That, which is leaving. Jabari Chieftain, Wakanda Forever, Usurp the Throne, and Spirit of Wakanda are the gas cards. The generically good cards are Eyes for Beta, Mission Objective, and Fallback. And I objectively need to be playing more defensive cards in the list, specifically in my 5. And then the Crises are Spider Infected and Struggle for the Cube, which are what I want to be playing. Scrolls is the backup in case I have to get it. And then the Securers are Scoundrels, Infinity Formula, and Riots.
Have you considered Senators at all, just to increase the scoring?
Yeah, Senators is horrible. I had it in the list and took it out.
Okay. That's fair.
So Wakandans like to be able to pick their matchups, specifically Black Panther, right? So Mystic Attacks, very, very bad. So I need to go away from where the Mystic Attackers are. M'Baku is weak to energy. Killmonger is just generally weak overall. He's fine, but nothing special. So all these models, when you gang up on them, they go down pretty easily. I've actually found Wakandan to be very paperish thin compared to, like, say, the Sam list I've been playing. Like, these Wakandans just melt. So I played them in Senators, and having all of them together just let the opponent focus fire them down.
Yeah.
So I had to ditch it, but I had the same thought you did. It was initially in the list, and then I replaced it with Scrolls.
Cool.
So revision to the list is Dynamo is out, CGR is in, and Can I Borrow That leaves in exchange for Vibranium Shielding.
You also talked about cutting Can I Borrow That?
Yep, that's what I'm cutting. Cutting Can I Borrow That, putting in Vibranium Shielding.
Oh, right. No, it was, we were also talking about cutting...
Usurp the Throne.
Usurp. What were we putting in for that, maybe?
I think I would want to put an Escort, but I don't know if there's a better one. I wonder if...
Recal's not bad. If you're taking Cosmic, Recal is actually really good for you.
Yep.
Yeah. I find Mark for Death is usually something I miss.
There is a lot of amazing Spider-Man running around.
Yeah.
Mark for Death gives you that turn, for sure.
I was going to want to play It's Time Travel, Don't Ask, but then I just read it and realized it costs 5 power, so fuck that.
It's really bad.
Well, it matches perfectly with what I wanted to do, right? Which was pull people off a point, then I can use this card to go score it, but...
And you read it and go, oh, it was so on those turns I have 8 power.
Okay.
And I decided not to kill somebody. You could put in no matter the cost, but again, I doubt it'll make your 5, so it probably doesn't matter. Well, like, considering you're playing Spirit of Wakanda build specifically, like, that's fucking 3 of your cards already, plus Wakanda Forever makes 4, I think. So it's like, we're really only talking about 6 cards rotating in for your 5th slot.
There are definitely some scenarios where I would not play Spirit of Wakanda.
That's true.
Okay, so official edits, Dynamo.
I'm going to step away for a second while you guys talk about this.
Dynamo's out, Ghost Rider's in. Can I Borrow That and Usurp come out? We add Vibranium Shielding, and we like Recal. Was that the next one?
I like Recal a lot with that stuff.
With Cosmic?
Yeah, because it works both ways with Cosmic.
Mm-hmm. My issue is that I would usually want to use it on a Spender, which is 6 power already. Oh wait, no, it has to be no matter the cost. Recal's out. I can't do that. I forgot. You never take Cosmic Ghost Rider without taking no matter the cost. What am I thinking?
Well, I thought you were trying to make a friendlier universe where you were trying to use them to score and stuff.
Well, I am. That's the primary plan, but
okay.
I need to have a backup.
Okay.
That's what the team. That's what the tactics cards are. They're there for when I need to pull them out.
Okay.
Like, I want to live and never get shot, but if you shoot me, then I have fallback.
Okay.
I never want to drop an objective, but
nothing stings more than double spendering with Ghost Rider Cosmic. That is
trust me, I'm well aware.
That'll burn your ass.
So we are not going to be as efficient as Guardians CGR, but we are going to be significantly higher tempo on turn 1. As a matter of fact, I think people are going to shit themselves.
I think that you're almost as efficient. You spend 1 power to reroll. I think Guardians is just slightly less, and you get to do it more often.
You get to have those little incremental changes.
Sure.
I mean...
You're assuming I played Panthers leadership. Ha ha ha. Joke's on you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I know Aaron hates it, but... I understand why, but just saying.
Like, if I roll, 3 to power up and spread Wakanda, and I'm sitting there with 6 fucking power turn 1, people are going to shit themselves.
Well, yeah.
They don't...
you're gonna... I almost guarantee you'll have a turn where you're sitting there on the first fucking turn, and you're just looking down at, 8 power, you're like, let's fucking go. I'm gonna place 2 walk and penance stare. Jesus Christ.
And you know what's really going to blow their mind is when I do nothing but walk forward and pass turn.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be like, yep, next turn 10 power, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, I think that would specifically be a waste, but sure.
Sure.
Because you could still just walk forward, shoot somebody, re-roll, and still go to 10 power.
Yeah, but I may not want to. Give them power, right?
Also, don't forget, Shuri doing your rerolls on top of it when you don't have to worry about skulls. You could easily max out 6 for 6 every shot of the game with Black Panther leadership and Shuri.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, so if your goal is to make sure that people notice Cosmic, I think we're getting there.
No, I actually kind of like this list. Because
wasn't my goal.
It's a CGR list that is not at all dependent on CGR to even be in the list, let alone do anything.
He is both the centerpiece and the complete even... he literally was the 10th model I just threw into the list, right?
You know what he is?
We did it live.
You know what he is? He's literally the Wizard of Oz. He's the, hey, look at me, and actually he's doing nothing.
He's not supposed to be here.
Now the question is,
Kansas.
Do I take Thor out and put in Thanos?
No, I think that's just memeing. When would you play Thanos?
Never. But it's going to break my fucking opponent's mind.
If you're going to do something like that, you should take out both other models for no, that wouldn't even work. I was trying to think. If you were going to do it, I think you need to do Thanos and Star-Lord. So I think at 17, your plan is to play Guardians.
No, because he doesn't have Guardian cards. You got to protect his cards to make it look real.
Plus, every other model has an actual role, right?
Yeah,
the only model that does not have a role is Thor. And if I'm going to be playing Cosmic into the big boys, at what point would I ever actually put Thor on the table?
At a low point total where, and you're expecting to play big guy. I think Thor has a role because he's 1 less point, so he gives you a point drop that isn't I haven't looked at all your point breakdowns, but I'm sure there's some point at which CGR becomes a problem to take.
So at 15, it's Black Panther, Shuri, Okoye, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, that's good.
Hot damn.
If I was to have Thor in that list, it becomes Shuri gets upgraded to Killmonger or M'Baku. Black Panther, M'Baku, Shuri. Sorry, Black Panther, M'Baku, Okoye, and Thor. I am not sure that is better, Thor and M'Baku versus Cosmic Ghost Rider Shuri.
If you don't think you'll ever play him once CGR is in the list, then yeah, he's definitely cuttable. I just don't see what adding Thanos does for you. I think it's a total bluff. I don't think people are scared of Thanos right now. I think they're scared of CGR.
Sure. So here's where I would play Thanos. I might play Thanos on hammers if my opponent drops it.
I could see that.
Thanos grabs 2 hammers with eyes.
Cosmic Ghost Rider drives up, kills everything else.
And everyone else goes to the other side and just overloads it with Wakandans. We're going to do it. Not because I really think it's good, but again, I haven't played Thor yet. I probably wouldn't ever pull him out in the middle of an invitational just to see how he works. So,
I just think he's somewhat useful and kind of in the mirror. Let's say you didn't want to play a CGR versus CGR game. Thor's interesting against CGR because he can stagger him, he can shock him, and he can stun him.
And he can kill him.
And he can kill him.
Sure, does CGR
So he's just an interesting tool. But yeah, I think it's fine. If you're only ever putting him down as a red herring, I don't think it's that valuable. But
the stagger and the throw is what gets him for me. That makes him good against him.
There's also a lot of models Thor is good against right now, and a lot of people don't have experience playing against Thor, who's got a bunch of power.
But you have CGR with rerolls. You're going to murder him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll debate Thor vs. Thanos. Make a decision tomorrow. Okay, apparently I'm playing Wakanda.
Done. See how easy that was?
Super easy.
Very, very hard. So I'm bringing a couple different options. I have my normal Agent Venom that I was playing at WTC. One of the two models I didn't play. Did I talk about this on the podcast?
I don't know.
There's two models in my list I didn't play in WTC.
Oh yeah?
I thought you just said, I thought there was just one.
I thought there was one. I realized there was two after the fact. So one was Agent Venom. Do you guys want to guess what the other one was?
Better not have been Shuri.
Don't tell me
it was not Shuri. I played Shuri.
You played. Did you think you played Spider-Man or Spider-Woman once, but didn't?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
I think I played Spider-Woman in a pickup game. Yeah, I played it in a pickup game versus Perrin.
Okay.
I did not play her in the event. After playing her as an auto include in like 30 straight games, it's just like, yeah, not at WTC. But anyway, so in that 4-point slot for Agent Venom, I am bringing Logan and Voodoo as alternate drops.
I like them both.
It's nice when you can reroll fucking skulls with Logan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I've never played him.
You know what?
Literally never put Logan on the table.
Literally better than that?
What's that?
Playing Logan under Red Skull 3 and turning your skulls into crits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Red Skull 3 has got some juice, man. Like, playing against him, seeing kind of what he was able to do. I was just getting super excited thinking of Red Skull 3 with Zemo. Just regular Zemo.
Just regular plain-ass old
just
Zemo.
Plain-ass fucking vanilla Zemo. The only thing that stops Zemo from being a god all of the time is skulls. That's the only thing. Man, oh man.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. Hold on, now I have to read you the Red Skull list apparently I made.
Oh, is he not in that list?
No, he is
Oh
in
my
that list.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it's rerolls with rerolls, and then reroll again. And it's like, I got 3 hits and then 3 skulls.
Super Nitro Explosion.
So the core of the list is Red Skull 3. At 17, it's Red Skull 3, Zemo or Mystique, X-23, and Logan.
Yeah.
And then the 3 main splash characters are Sabretooth, Mordo, and Bullseye. So at 18, it's Red Skull, Logan, Sabretooth, X-23, and Zemo. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is a bunch of murder.
It is.
That all gets to count their skulls as crits. And 3 healing factor models. It's just pretty insane. Obviously, it's a dice list, right? So dice work, dice don't work, but the amount of pressure it puts on your opponent, like when Perrin and I are playing each other, sometimes Logan just like murders 4 people, like with a beam. You're like, well, okay. Turns out when you can turn your skulls into good things, it makes stupid characters even stupider.
Yeah.
Jeremy, if you ever have any future problems at your work, you should hire some mummies.
Oh, no.
Because they never take time off. Do you know why?
Oh, it's a double parter. I don't know why.
They're afraid to unwind.
Nope.
He was not impressed. That got a 0 on the trash scale.
Wow. That was better than a
it.
0. That was way better than a 0.
Yikes.
Oof. All right, Jeremy. So you're playing a random pile of mutants that like to do what they want to do. I'm playing some Web Warriors, and Aaron is playing the Wakanadans.
Yep. We shall represent.
Do we have predictions?
Whew. 49% for Aaron.
Okay, strong.
Oh.
Aaron, you better be wearing your t-shirt this weekend.
If I had one.
You want people to know who you are.
If I had one.
I think me and Jeremy are either going to win the team tournament or come in last.
Become laughingstocks.
We're going to Ricky Bobby this bitch. But I can tell you one thing. We're going to have the most fun in the team tournaments.
Dude, I tell you, we're playing with gas.
All of our models are going to be on fire.
We actually have a live cougar in our car.
Oh boy.
What's your theme? What's your affiliation again? 5-point model.
You cost 5 points. Oh yeah, we can say what it is because this is going to come out on Saturday. Oh boy. We have some spicy meatballs.
Oh my god.
Here, I'm gonna read the list to Aaron. I want his honest reaction. All right, here we go. All right. List is titled "Your Comeuppance Has Come Due." We've got CGR, Red Skull 2, Cable, Juggernaut, Red Skull 3, Killmonger, Lockjaw. That's Jeremy's list. My list is Malekith, Hulk 1, Ulik, Black Bolt, MODOK, Zemo, and Bob. Aaron, I need a trash rating.
You'd be surprised of how many affiliations we can make. Just count the number of leaders.
It took us 30 minutes to realize that we were affiliated. We were just like, dude, these models are great. I love this whole list. And we were like, wait, this is affiliated.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, our original plan was, we already have Black Bolt, so we should just put in, like, Crystal and Miss Marvel, and we'll get affiliated. And every time we put them in, we're like, these models are trash. Just threw them to the side, like, put CGR in instead. We're like, this is just better.
I'm also
it's gonna be fun.
Playing Wakanda at the team tournament, so that'll be good to actually get some practice with it.
Nice. Who are you playing with?
Dustin from California.
Ooh. Nice.
He won last year, so I'm going to try to ride his coattails.
Was he the Spider Foes player?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. I could have not, for the life of me, told you his name, but
yeah,
some of us care about the people we meet.
I'm not a names person. I like it took me a month to remember your name.
I know.
I do not know the name of it. I just know the sound it makes when it beats me.
Like, I could point at somebody and tell you if I know them or not, but there's a 10% chance I know their actual name. Like, that's Hat and Glasses. I know this guy. I've known him for 10 years.
I already told you how I know people, so we're good.
Mm-hmm. They have a score.
They do.
You earn points.
the scene in Office where he points at everybody. Baldy. Fat guy. Big lips. You're like, oh my god.
Oh boy. I was trying to describe Chili Day to somebody that had never seen The Office. Oh god. Just like, just picture a steel keg that can hold 100 gallons that this person is carrying while wearing oven mitts.
Dude.
Oh, it was great.
God, that one is so good. Boy. He's scooping it up with a folder. Just back in the pot.
I watched the making of that episode.
Oh, really?
And it's amazing. Because the guy's like, all right. He's talking to the props guy, and he's like, all right, so like how crazy do you want me to make this spill? And he's like, well, the carpet that we bought to cover the actual carpet, we could only get so much of it on short notice. So it only covers this 20-foot area. And then it's the actual carpet for the set. And so I need you to not get it past this line. Also, we only have 2 pieces, so you got to get it in 2 takes. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, like, halfway through the prep for the scene, like, he's about to start carrying the thing up the stairs. And he's just like, what about, like, my wardrobe? Do we have backup wardrobe? And he, like, asks, like, one of the PAs, he's like, do we have a backup outfit for me? And he's just like, gives him this scared look. And he's like, I don't think so. He's like, so I'm going to do this scene twice, and one of the takes I'm going to be covered in chili before I spill it. It's like, what the fuck do you think this is going to work? So they had to do it in 1 take.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
We start cooking the chilies 2 days ahead, and this recipe is passed on. God.
Oh, it's so good. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it for us today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed us talking Aaron into playing degenerate garbage.
So you all are welcome.
This has been Brandon.
Jeremy.
And Mr. Degenerate.
And you just listened to The Gang Watches BSG.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down Infamous.
And we're doing it.
Am I still in fucking Denmark?
You are indeed not Denmark.
Is this Copenhagen?
Schuvenhaven
Ugh. Is that how it's said?
in Danish.
Oh.
Schuvenhaven.
Okay.
Not everyone's trilingual like me.
After we visited
gone.
there, I hate it here. I hate it here. Like, I want fresh food. I want people to treat me nice. I want clean places to go. I want clean restrooms, goddammit. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, the clean restrooms is nice.
I'm tired of hobos everywhere.
Yeah. Definitely for the infrastructure stuff that comes from more densely populated areas. That was nice. But I definitely missed parts of home, like having water fountains. Like, I don't know why they're allergic to having water. Like, I was so thirsty most of the weekend because it's like, where's the water? And they're like, we hide it. I'm like, why do you hide the water?
There seemed to be plenty of water for normal people. I accept your use of water, Copenhagen.
I don't. To make me drink out of little thimbles. It makes me feel like a giant.
Could have been like me and brought a water bottle, like a portable.
I
one.
actually did, and then I was so tired after the flight because I hadn't slept in like 30 hours. I left it in the lobby and it got taken. And I was like, no.
Well,
Yeah, so I mean that's on me, but
sounds like someone learned a lesson.
They also could have just had water.
Sure.
Also, they're goddamn $5 Coca-Colas that have aspartame.
Yep.
Those are just vitamins.
Their aspartame's not a vitamin. Did you enjoy eating your lunch medicine?
Hey. I'm
I
into
haven't
whatever
died
they're
yet,
into.
so yeah.
I'm
Undercooked rice
for-
and bean sprouts. That's
I'm
how you stay
for it.
alive.
That was the most medicine
See,
I've
if
had.
you were to cook the rice, it would have too many calories in it. It's
Yeah.
like snow. You need to lose calories by chewing it.
True. Did y'all do anything for Halloween?
I worked.
Boycotted
Was
it.
there-
I played a Halloween playlist at the store.
Oh,
So it
did
was
you?
Halloween themed music. Yeah.
So I'm gonna rant for a second because I have a platform
Go.
and I can.
Oh my god, here he goes again.
Wait, let me get a timestamp so I can cut this out. All right, go.
Halloween used to be my favorite holiday.
Okay.
Loved it. Like the whole, theme, witches, ghouls, all that, random crazy shit.
Little green ghouls.
Then we moved into the house we're in now, which is an older neighborhood, like probably made, I think it was established in like the 80s, subdivision. It used to be one of the nicer ones in town. Since then, 3 or 4 nicer ones, like they keep, new development have propped up. So we're not like, snobbing with the super rich in town anymore. But the neighborhood is still kind of, old money, if you will. Anyway, when I grew up in St. Louis, when you went and trick-or-treated, it was just like you left your house, right? You walked around the neighborhood and you trick-or-treated and you came back home. And you had a huge bag full of candy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they do where I live is people post where the best places to go trick-or-treating are. And they go and they drop their kids off and they scour the neighborhood real quick and they pick them up and they take them to the other nice neighborhood. And they do that and they come back with like 6 garbage bags full of candy.
Yep.
And if you're not handing out like, full Snickers bars, they're like, and they just move on.
You are trash.
So, yeah, it has turned into such a commercialization, not even like corporate, but I don't get it. Like I would
Like,
love
people
to
are
have
power
a
gaming
neighborhood
Halloween.
trick or treating. Like let's have a cul-de-sac party. We'll go down there. The adults will drink. We'll shoot the shit. The neighborhood kids will all trick or treat amongst the neighborhoods. But now, like it is fucking. I refuse to drive after like 5 p.m. because you cannot leave my subdivision because of all the cars and people walking. It
Yeah.
is fucking nuts. And
So
it drives me insane.
I think part of the problem is you're in the rich neighborhood.
Well, clearly.
If you're in like a smaller area, then there isn't that huge flood of people coming to where you're at. And so it's kind of more normalized. But yeah, you're experiencing one end of the spectrum, I think.
And we get people from like 50 miles away. It is stupid.
So my neighborhood is, now I'm going to rant a little bit. Where I live in my neighborhood is much like the scene in The Crow, Devil's Night, where everything is on fire and people are screaming and shooting guns. So, if I had to choose one...
You choose my white picket fence suburbia?
No, we just don't. Like, basically all the kids around our neighborhood, because it's townhouses, nobody actually trick-or-treats here. You go to the nicer area, which is where my ex-wife lives.
They get in the vans and they go to fucking Aaron's house.
Yep, we actually drop them off at Aaron's house. So, no. So here's
we
the deal.
drive 50 miles to Aaron's house.
So my favorite part is my kids have figured a different way to do Halloween entirely. And they came up with this on their own. Halloween for them is completely different. So what they do is they dress up in their own psychopathic fucking costumes that they make these masks that look like Leatherface masks out of like porcelain, and they paint them up and they're completely disgusting. And then when kids come to get candy, they charge out the door, scare the shit out of little kids, and chase them down and basically jam candy into their bags, run back inside and hide in the house. Dude, it is the most awesome version of Halloween I've ever encountered. They love it.
Your kids just attack people?
Oh, yeah. Half the time, the kids don't even stop at the house because my kids scare them off. It is amazing. Now that's Halloween.
That's cool.
I concur.
Oh, yeah. And then, so I was like, maybe I'll take my boys. We'll go to a haunted house. That'll be our thing. You know what's not our thing? Spending $140 to wait in a line for 3 hours. Talk about commercialization. Jesus age. I looked that up and looked at reviews and stuff. I remember going when I was a teenager, and it's like...
It was like $20. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Nope.
Yeah, I used to like Halloween. I don't know what it is. I've kind of been longing for this. I never go to parties anymore. I don't know if it's just I'm getting older and like I don't get invited to parties, but going to like a nice Halloween party at somebody's house I think sounds like a good time, but I haven't been invited one in like 10 years now, it feels like.
We were all wondering why you weren't there, but
yeah.
Now that you brought it up.
I know, right?
Actually,
I guess that just means I need to have the party, right?
Pretty much. Like, all of that stuff in my life, when I got divorced, like, all of that stopped. Like, that was all
You got all the friends.
Well, yeah, like, I guess. Just, everybody, like, families put together family stuff, and it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, too many people I know have families, since they don't do, like, friend stuff anymore. They do family stuff now.
I like going to parties with ghouls. With
ghouls?
Yeah. Do you know what their favorite drink is?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Anything with booze.
Oh, man. That's kind of cute.
Oh, no. He turned a page. That means there's more. Jeremy's not very excited.
No, that was I like that one. That was kind of cute.
I think he said ghouls. I think he meant ghosts.
I meant ghouls.
Okay. Ghouls. Like boys and ghouls. It was actually a date rape joke, which is not that funny, but I found it funny still.
I wonder if Parker's doing Halloween stuff and just forgot to say something.
The day after Halloween? Who does that?
Parker, probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
we're doing Halloween for the dog.
Yeah.
Or the dog got into the Halloween candy, is now shitting all over the house. There's Kit Kat wrappers in the dog's ass. You have to dig them out.
I almost forgot to bring this up. So remember last week when he was like, I'm going to be at breakfast, and I'm going to be there for games.
Oh,
so
God.
He showed up to breakfast.
Yeah.
But then he was 3 hours late to play games.
What?
5 minutes from the breakfast place.
How did that happen?
Parker's the only person that could be at breakfast and be 3 hours late for a game. Right after breakfast.
He hadn't decided what he wanted to play. He wanted to discuss it at breakfast. So we discussed it at breakfast.
So he went to talk about lists.
He decided on it and then took 3 hours to pack his models.
Yeah, so he didn't bring his models because he didn't know what to bring because he only brings exactly what he's going to play with. What? And so he had to go home. And then when he went home, life happened and his toilet exploded. And he had to fix his toilet.
Yeah, that's not... Yeah, you can't go back home.
Yeah, there is no go home. I am gone now.
Yeah, no.
It's like when he hasn't figured out the tactic of that every guy knows. Like once you step out the front door, airplane mode, which like just completely ignore the rest of your life.
I always when I would go to conventions, and I always feel like I've time traveled and went back to the same spot I left the last time I was at the convention or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because like it's the same people, like doing the same
people
things,
doing
talking,
the same stuff,
and they're like they haven't.
It's like going back to it's like just the next week of high school.
Yeah,
and it's just like
so
everyone's doing.
weird.
It doesn't matter what happened in between. It's like we're not going to talk about that. Maybe someone will ask you, but we're just going to ignore it, and we're just going to pretend it's the next day.
Yeah, and eventually those people started having children and showing me pictures of their kids and stuff, and I'm like, all right, this is getting a little too uncomfortable. Let's go back to just gaming.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my first Adepticon was 2010.
Yeah.
And it's like the same fucking thing. Like, it's moved locations, and it's the same event. Like,
yeah, Warfare.
War Machine Weekend was very much the same. It changed locations, and it's the exact same thing.
Dude, that trash hotel that War Machine Weekend used to be in was awesome. That was like just murder central. The wall.
You mean like the tiny one?
The tiny
I never
one.
went to the tiny one. No, the one that was next door to a strip club? No, I
Dude, if you would have turned the black light on, oh my God.
Yeah. I've stayed at that hotel, but it was not for War Machine Weekend. It was for some other event. Because, I don't know, I think you were there. We went to go check in, because it is literally next door to a strip club. So we go to check in, and there's these two cops and this dude and this chick standing at the front desk. We're like, oh, here we go. This woman basically just starts screaming at the hotel clerk for about 10 solid minutes. God. We have no idea what's happening, but the more she talks, the crazier the story gets. And the two cops are like, we're going to have to arrest you if you can't show us ID. And she left her ID in her room. And so she's yelling at the desk clerk to let her into the room. And guess what? She doesn't have any ID. So
oh my God.
It's just this circular logic trap that this drunk woman is screaming at the hotel clerk. And eventually he's like, you know what? I don't fucking care. You can get into this room. I don't even care if it's yours anymore. Just please leave. And eventually she goes up to the room, shows the police her ID, and they leave. And we're just sitting in the hotel waiting to check in this whole time. It was amazing.
My God. When I lived in Syracuse, New York, it was a tournament in Rochester. And it was a 2-day thing. So me and my friend John drive up there. And it's one of those, it's just, you get the hotel or whatever, that sight unseen. Yeah. We're like, okay, we're going to be 2 days. We'll just get a room. It's fine. So we get a room for this thing. And it's one of those with like the door on the outside. And it's only one level.
It's a motel, not a hotel.
Yeah, it's only one level. That. And it's like 100% looks like everything you've seen where murders are at. And we go in there. That's and we go in this room. I swear to God, it's all wood paneling. And like crazy patterns on the walls and shit, and it's tiny. We're like, we are fucking dead, man. Like we're sitting in there. The walls are so thin. No way we make it out of this. Oh yeah, all night long. Whoop whoop whoop. And the fucking lights are flashing. We're like, we're fucking dead, man. That was so crazy.
You're just like sleeping beside the bed so they can't see you if they keep the door in.
Exactly.
It was kind of like that. Me and Max, my old roommate, went to the away game in 2019? No, 2021.
With the Titans game?
No, I think it was 19. It was an away Titans game in Nashville. So it was the same weekend as War Machine Weekend. So we drove to St. Louis at early, got there at like noon, stayed till like 7 o'clock, and then drove the rest of the way to Nashville. Yeah. Because it basically broke up the drive exactly in half. And we got to spend like 6 hours at War Machine Weekend, which is pretty cool. So we get to the hotel, and it's bigger than the one you were talking about, but it's one of the like doors on the outside, bricks of rooms. And we're staying on the ground floor, and it's not in a good neighborhood. And so like multiple times throughout the night, there's like people walking up and down the sidewalk, like knocking on doors and stuff because they're trying to meet people. And it's just oh God. Like, and we're like in a weird place we've never been before, and I barely slept. I was like, man, someone's gonna try and come in here.
Well, it's you and Max. I'm sure you had mini guns.
We did have mini guns.
That's one thing I know. You had mini guns. We didn't have mini guns.
You don't want to get caught without your guns.
Don't leave without all the guns.
Yeah.
So similar experience. Went to a Blood Bowl tournament in Oklahoma with Richard. I don't know, six months ago or so. And I'm a cheap ass, so we got a Motel 6 in Oklahoma City. Holy shit. The parking row was filled with 6 cars that did not work, that had people living in them.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was really bad. But we spent the night. Car was still there in the morning, and we continued our excursion and left. And I swore off Motel 6 for the rest of my life.
I think it's more about creepy, like the neighborhood, right? Like you can get like cheap motels in nice areas, and they're totally fine.
Yeah. So fast forward to last weekend when we had to drive up to Lincoln for a Saturday Blood Bowl tournament at 8:30 a.m. So we left on Friday to get a hotel. But Lincoln had a college football game on Saturday. So the hotel we normally stayed at had just got bought out, and they had a new 2-day stay rule, probably because of the game. And every place in Lincoln was expensive as dog shit. So we ended up staying in Nebraska City, which is about 45 minutes away, in between, here and there, at a Motel 6. There were 4 of us traveling, and I got a room with 3 queens.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was actually like a double suite. It wasn't just 3 queens pushed up against each other.
Yeah.
So, managed to hit the jackpot there. We put 4 people in 3 beds, one of them being my son and I, for super cheap. So, one horrible Motel 6 followed by a diamond in the rough.
Nice.
Well, the next time decides it.
Yes.
Coming back from the American Team Championships for War Machine in, I want to say like 2016? It was January 2017, because that was the year I went to WTC. We're driving back from ATC, and we get stuck in an ice storm in Iowa in January. We're driving on this middle of freaking nowhere 2-lane gravel highway. No, it was paved here. It was going between gravel and pavement repeatedly. And it is like we had just come out of the bad part of the ice storm. And so we're doing like 45 and a 70 is how bad the roads are. And we come out from behind an embankment, and we get hit by the wind broadside in my old white Pathfinder. And this is where we get the battle damage. And we just immediately start spinning. And so we did, I think, 3 full revolutions on the highway before I finally got a little bit of traction and kind of got it going straight. But we were going backwards. And so I just got it to where we weren't going to go off the road sideways. And we went into a 6-foot ditch.
Jesus.
Didn't roll. And that was me, Scott, and Jeremy Gregg in the car. So we end up, car turns off because we're going backwards and all that. Get the car started about a minute later, and we're in like 6 inches of slush and weeds. And I end up having to pull out 2 of our air mattresses we had in the car to jam them under the wheels so we get a little bit of traction. I get the thing moving, and we like drive up the ditch a bit to a little bit of a dry spot, and we just start like rocking it, going up the hill, back and forth. It's a 6-foot hill, and it's covered in ice, and so you have to get a really good running start at it. But so we kind of have Jeremy Gregg looking out on the road, and he's kind of giving me the thumbs up when there's no cars coming, and if he gives me the thumbs down, I have to bail out of the attempt because we don't want to just appear up on the road when someone's doing 65.
Yeah.
But yeah, after about an hour, I get it back on the road. An hour of just rocking it, making like a track. We get going. I get up to about 15 miles an hour and immediately lose it again because now the tires are wrapped in ice.
Oh my God.
And because the car was actually in pristine condition to this point. And then we lost it going the other direction. Like, just zero control. Like, the cars just start spinning at 15 miles an hour. What do you do? And we tagged the cable divider in the middle of the road. And that's what ripped up the front end. But anyway, after that, we did 10 miles an hour to the next exit. And we got out at a Motel 8. We stayed there, and that place was awful, but it didn't matter because you know what? It wasn't an ice-stricken highway. That's all that we cared about.
Oh man.
Yeah. The floor was wet.
Ugh.
It's like we walk in, it's like squish, and we're like, okay, I don't even care. I'm just gonna lay down. I'm so tired.
One of the hotels we stayed at when we were visiting the Muse guys, I think. We go in the hotel, and it smelled like wet dog and pure cigarettes. Like, I haven't encountered something like that since then, or maybe even before then. It was an immediate allergy asthma attack. I thought I was going to fucking die. And it was like an unbelievable experience. Like, you're like, I haven't witnessed that. Like, am I in prison? Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, that was insane. And like, when things are drenched in cigarette smoke, it's like, how did this fucking happen? Like, who let this happen?
Somebody's just been there for 30 years and they just didn't care. No one's ever cared.
You could wring out a cigarette, like from like the juice, like cigarette juice. Ugh.
What I like to imagine is there's actually just like a spray bottle that has a wet dog and cigarette smell. They spray it in there because that's what people expect.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of what they want.
It says here, no money back. I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. Ugh.
There's just 3 inches of standing water in your room. They're like, no money back.
No money back, it says right there.
I'll just sleep in the lobby. How about that? You know what? Call the police. Let's see what they say.
Call the police.
Oh, boy. What the fuck are we going to talk about today?
Well, we didn't record it, so we could probably go over...
Oh, I have a plan for that. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Talk about what we're gonna. We could actually try and come up with some solutions of what we're playing at Warfare. I know what I'm playing, but
I'm bringing a couple options.
Yeah, I painted up Red Skull. He's ready. He's hot.
Nice.
He's hot, ready to go. All two colors of him.
Did you see the rulings for Mr. RS3?
I guess. I mean, what? I don't. What are the final solution? What's the final option?
The leadership works as you think it would.
Yeah.
But he's doing all or nothing on the share power. So if you use somebody else's power, you have to pay for it solely with their power, not with yours and theirs combined.
Oh, so he can't give his own?
He can pay for his own powers, but if you use somebody else's power, you can't mix it. It has to be all or nothing.
Really?
That's the way he's deciding to go with it, because he thinks it's ambiguous wording. It's whatever. I mean...
Okay. That's odd. Okay.
It's what it is.
In our list, it really doesn't matter. That's fine.
Yeah, I doubt we'll... I mean, it'd be nice if it did work that way, but it's whatever.
Yeah. That definitely wasn't the point of it.
I don't think so, but you know what?
No, I'm saying the point of our list.
That way. But that's more of a rules forum problem than a dev problem.
Yeah. We're using him because he's a 4-pointer and he makes the list work, so it's fine. It's okay.
A leadership is better than no leadership. Man, I tried so hard to make that Inhumans affiliated, and turns out Inhumans are just a giant pile of dog shit.
Whoa! You heard it here first, folks.
It's like, can I just have Black Bolt, you keep the rest? Which is like something no Inhumans players ever said.
Note to listeners, Brandon does not represent the complete views of everyone in Infamous.
I mean, I think that's a given.
I know. They just need a reminder once in a while.
Okay.
There needs to be a timestamp on it. That way we can pull it up in the future quickly.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into it. Alright, Aaron. The big question everyone wants to know, how far into BSG are you?
Episode 3, maybe 4.
Did you watch the miniseries?
I did.
Okay. Did you like the miniseries?
It was okay.
I might commit self-harm if you don't like it.
I was going to say careful. You're messing with his emotions right now.
I understand. So I was initially taken aback with the what I will generously call very bad CGI.
It is older, and it was the pilot basically for the TV show. So
sure,
they had a fairly low budget.
I was like, was this made in 1970? Nope, the 2000s. Right?
Hey, the 2000s was a long time ago, sir.
Sure.
They ran out of cocaine in the 90s.
Yeah.
I think the initial Star Wars in 1978 had better graphics than this did.
Well, sure, but it was a way bigger budget, right? Like they had Actually, I'm curious. What was the original?
They had tens of dollars back then.
It was made for the Sci-Fi Channel, right? It wasn't even one of the main ones. I get it. So I'm just giving you my initial reaction of plugging it in and being hit play, and I was like, oh my god, that's really bad.
The worst part of the show by far is the CGI.
Okay.
Because it's dated. At the time, it was solid for a TV show. But
Sure.
yeah, it's not.
So I just had to,
standing up
in my mind,
that
picture
stuff.
them doing all kinds of cool maneuvers while they're fighting the Cylons, not just like flying in a straight line.
Yeah.
So I had to get past that. There are two things that I really don't like about the series so far. One is the whole I have a secret that ruins like life as you know it. Like I hate the trope of if we would just communicate better, we would solve all these problems. But no, we're just going to keep everything to ourselves. That's the main one. Go ahead.
The CW style secret keeping is the plot. I hate so much, right? And there's a small amount of that in the beginning. There's some major spoilers just at the end of the first episode. Oh, I think it's the end of the miniseries. At the end of the miniseries, there's already some big spoilers.
Yep.
And so, like, a lot of that stuff, it doesn't get held forever. Like, that stuff comes out pretty quick, honestly.
But the two tropes. One is the secrets inside the show. Like, this person is keeping a secret from person X. And the second one I don't love is when the audience knows something the characters don't.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to immerse yourself into what the characters are feeling and thinking in the moment, because you have information they don't.
Yeah. And so you forget that, like, so-and-so doesn't know this. So you're confused as to why they're making certain choices, and for sure.
Right. And so the entire plot line in my mind is just how to resolve these people figuring out X, which is less interesting because I already know X, right? So those two, I'll call them tropes, turn me off from shows in general. Having said that, everything, or maybe even in spite of that, I found it watchable plus. I haven't wanted to turn it off and be like, oh my god, why am I watching this? But on the other hand, I'm not like, oh, just one more before I go to bed, right? But again, I'm only on episode 3 or 4. So
a lot of people find the very first actual episode that isn't the pilot very gripping, which is the 33.
Yep. So I think I finished that one, and toward the end, I couldn't figure out what the hell 33 had to do with anything.
It's the time.
Sure, I understand.
Like why it's
33 minutes they get, the Cylons arrive every 33 minutes. I'm like, why is it 33 minutes? Why not 35? Why not an hour 20?
They don't know.
Yeah, so
it's just however long it took them to plot their course or whatever.
Yeah, and there are still some cliffhangers from exactly how they're finding them, and then we go to the flashbacks that I can piece together stuff and I can figure it out. But so that's all fine. So all of that's fine. I did a little bit of research that said you don't even need to watch the miniseries. You can just seasons 1 and 2 are amazing, and then it kind of goes downhill. But whatever, I'm gonna watch all 4, assuming I can get the DVDs. Anyway, that's where I'm at now. It is a show that I'm happy to continue watching for now, but I'm not sure it would rate at presently super high in my recommendations to others.
Yeah, it's about a 4.5 of 10.
Ooh, 4.5 seems low.
Jeremy, I don't know why. It's just the internet's cutting out. It's just can't hear you anymore. It's weird. Ignore the mute symbol. It definitely, the show has its hiccups and its flaws. Like, it existed during the first big writer strike of the 2000s, so they went an entire season without their writers, and so that definitely didn't help. But I definitely love the show. It has a lot of growth, and so I'm curious how you'll like it. I'm curious how you'll like it as it develops.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad you're finally watching it.
I'd said all it would take was some models, so I could sit and actually.
Now we got the models.
Yeah, got fucking 7 more models to go. I might not need 4 seasons.
All right. So, getting to the brass tacks here, gentlemen, we've got some movies. All right. So, in hindsight, probably would have worded my topic better, but I said what I said. So, we're gonna go with Halloween movies in the spirit of Halloween. So these will be basically anything that's directly related to Halloween tropes, themes, or times. So we've got anything that happens on Halloween or is related to Halloween type themes. Who's going first this week?
It can't be me because I have to abstain.
You're abstaining from what? The movies in general?
I have watched no Halloween movies in my life ever.
That can't be true.
Well, none came to mind, so my IMDb search of best Halloween movies, top 100, and I still hadn't watched a single one, so...
Oof.
I did not want to spoil that earlier and have us choose a different category because you deserve the category you chose. But I don't do horror.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sure.
For me, Halloween isn't directly horror movies, right?
But
And
a
I
lot
think
of
for
them could be,
it's
right?
not.
So,
Right. So, and a lot of monster movies are less scary and more campy. Especially the Halloween ones. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a scary movie that some people could even call a monster movie, but it's not really Halloween related. It's just scary.
Sure. Well, let me see what you guys go with, and maybe something will jog my memory. But again, this is not a protest. It is just I literally have
you're
nothing.
fine. So we've been going with the rule of the person who chose the category can't go first because Jeremy started losing. So Jeremy gets to go first.
This was a weird one. I'm not sure. I'm
definitely
still
weird.
Not exactly sure what is correct in this one, but I kind of went towards the what does my family like to watch during Halloween. So these movies come out on Halloween. Saw movies come out on Halloween. They only come out during Halloween. So I was going to choose Saw. We always go and see Saw movies on Halloween. Do I get to choose that or not?
I'm not going to argue against it. It's a pretty weird topic. I would definitely put that more in the just random scary movie one, but it is kind of in the spirit of weird shit going on. That's fine. Like I said, I'm going to be pretty lax with this one. I just did it because it's Halloween. I'm going to go with a little bit more classical one, and I don't know why. I like this movie, but I've always enjoyed it, even on rewatches. Hocus Pocus is one of the old Disney Halloween movies.
Mm-hmm. People like it. I don't think I've ever watched it.
It's fine. It's definitely more of a kid's movie, but it's fine. So Aaron, with those two in the pipe, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Tell you what, I'm going to give you some layups. How about that?
Okay.
I'm going to give you The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because I feel like you've seen that at least once.
You'd be wrong.
With how much you like Disney?
Wait, time out. Why do you think I like Disney that much?
Because you do. Mostly that reason.
Ouch. Okay.
Then I'm going to also give you... Oh, no, Jeremy might pick this one. I'll fill yours in later if you still can't come up with anything. Because I don't want to steal stuff from Jeremy that Jeremy might use. Jeremy, was that on your list?
No. I've said it before, so it couldn't be on my list.
That's fair. So I'm going to rebound here and go with The Addams Family.
Ooh, you bastard! That was on my list.
I know that was a hot one. And there's still a bunch I have on here.
I mean, I have seen that one at some point in my life, but I'm not sure I'd ever recommend it.
The Addams Family? It's just a nice, fun one.
I like Values better. That one's
Values is probably better, but I hate going with sequels when they're close, right?
So another one that is a Halloween one that I went and saw with my mom on Halloween years and years ago, and it was completely inappropriate as I was 15 years old, and it gave me fucking nightmares. Candyman.
Oh, that's a scary one.
Jesus Christ.
I remember seeing that one. I think I was 8 when I saw that.
Oh, Jesus, that's way too young. No, I was like...
No, my mom
I was
not give a
15.
fuck.
That was fucked up, dude.
No, yeah, I remember watching it. There's nudity in it. It's a fucking crazy movie.
Yeah, it's brutal. Ugh.
I think I saw Candyman at the drive-in.
It's like, why are all these kids... Why is that 8-year-old crying?
And vomiting.
Yeah, wow.
All right, your last pick, Jeremy.
Oh. So I'm going to go with one that's very current, and also it's always awesome to find a good family one. And Adam Sandler did it on this one. The Hubie Halloween on Netflix is actually really fun to watch with your kids.
Hubie. How do you spell that?
Hubie. Hubie's Halloween. And it's Adam Sandler. It's almost like a mashup of his other dumb ones he did when he was younger. He's just acting like an ass and doing fun stuff. And The more you watch it, kind of the funnier it actually kind of is. My kids, it's Halloween.
I did not think I would have multiple good ones left. Aaron, is there anything you'd like to throw out there? You can even say stuff you haven't seen. I don't care.
Casper, that was a good one.
I refuse
Casper
to.
is a good one.
I refuse to recommend a movie I have not seen and do not enjoy.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Green Mile.
Well, I know there's one on here that you should be saying that you're not
Forrest Gump.
saying.
Oh, sure.
There's one that came out in like the
Gladiator.
1980s that has to do with ghosts.
Busting ghosts.
Busting makes me feel good.
Didn't
Is
see
that
it.
a Halloween movie?
Yeah, it's about catching ghosts. It's as much a Halloween movie as Casper is. It literally takes place on Halloween, too.
Then that would be a good one, yes.
All right, so he's taking Nightmare Before Christmas and... No.
He's got Ghostbusters
All right.
1, Ghostbusters 2.
So I'm just going to point out, that was
Ghostbusters
going
3.
to be my pick, so...
No, you can take it. You can take it.
No, it's fine.
No.
I want you to be involved. I'm helping you.
Look, everyone, he's helping.
I actually thought Jeremy was going to take Lost Boys.
I thought about it, but those Lost Boys is awesome. That's true. It is.
I'm going to go with Beetlejuice as my last one.
Lydia.
Mm-hmm. I very much like the comedy style of like the satire scary movies, but not like Scary Movie because that's stupid. Parker loves that shit. Like that's like the slapstick satire I think is a little over the top, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
But like Parker could watch Scary Movie all goddamn day long.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good.
Scream. Forgot about that one.
All right, you're saying you want to pick Scream instead of one of yours?
No. I also want Scream.
I'm putting down Parker for Scary Movie 1, 2, 3. And he won't even complain.
I want Wild Things.
Wild Things? Okay. I saw that on one of the lists, but I hadn't seen it.
That is one of the most inappropriate fucking movies for children I've ever seen. They're like punching each other in the face over nothing. And like one's like a boy, one's a girl. The boy's like smashing the girl's face in. Like it's what the fuck?
Aaron, are you done? You want to pick another one?
Well, that's probably not even a Halloween movie, but they both star Nev Campbell, so
sure.
We're gonna call it close.
Wait,
enough.
did you choose Scream? Is that on your list?
No.
Oh, okay.
I only choose wildly inappropriate things.
Okay.
Oh god.
Not bad movies like Scream.
So talking about honorable mentions then, in case we can inspire Aaron to pick a third movie.
Okay.
I've got Young Frankenstein.
Oh, that's a good one.
No.
Have you never seen it?
Nope.
It's the only Mel Brooks movie I actually recommend to people.
Igor.
I had this on the list, but I don't know if it really counts. Jeremy, I'm going to need an opinion on this one. Clue?
No.
I love Clue. I don't know how Halloween themed it is.
No, there's no
but
monsters.
It's very much in that like comedy, scary movie kind of trope. I've also got John Carpenter's Vampires.
I guess.
That's a good one.
What's the vampire one with George Clooney?
Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's a good one.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a Halloween?
Yeah, that's fine. It's a vampire movie. Vampires are Halloween themed.
Okay, that one can go on the list.
All right, we did it. We've got 4 lists despite some gerrymandering. All right, so Jeremy's got Saw, Candyman, and Hubie's Halloween. I've got Hocus Pocus, Addams Family, and Beetlejuice. Solid list, although probably would be a little bit better with Ghostbusters. And Aaron's got Ghostbusters, Wild Things, Dusk Till Dawn. And then Parker's got Scary Movie 1, 2, 3. No, hold on, wait. I got it. Hold on, wait. Scary Movie 1, 3, and 2.
No,
there you go.
Make him think that he picked it in the order he likes.
You should do it 1, 2, 4. Everyone should wonder why he skipped
Is there
3.
4?
Scary Movie 1.
No, because I know he likes 3.
Scary Movie 1. Scary Movie 2.
1, 3, 4.
And Airplane.
1, 3, 4. Just like he didn't like 2. I don't know why.
Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 3, and Airplane.
Are there 4 scary movies?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is gonna be fucking great.
Until he wins.
He probably fucking will.
This is what happens when you're not here.
This is a public service announcement. If you vote for Parker's list, you will be kicked out of the Discord.
You also
so if you voted for it, you better go in and unvote for it before I catch you. Because if I catch you at any point, kick banned. Cool. All right, well, I've still got to edit this and post it and do all the other stuff before I go to sleep. So,
awesome.
Yep. Jeremy, I will be at your house around 7-ish. Aaron, I'll be at your parents' house around 11:30, probably. Rough guess.
That's too fucking
Should
late.
take about 3.5, unless you're planning on
Go with 11 then. I don't know how far it is from Jeremy's house.
I don't know. But
I know
you
it's
need to
about
be
4
at
hours
my
from
house
my
at fucking 7. Don't be coming over here at like fucking 8.
Well, I gotta wait for Zach, but yeah.
Okay, I'll let you know
I'll
what
be
dinner
there
plans are.
no later
if there
than-
are any.
Yeah, no later than 8:30.
Not listening anymore.
Yeah, I'll try and go there at a reasonable time. Aaron obviously will need an address at some point if you haven't already given it to Jeremy.
Am I a responsible adult?
I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe that you're tired.
Jeremy had it days ago.
Okay, good. But that doesn't mean he's not going to lose it.
Did I have it
Okay.
days ago?
Jeremy's like, shit. Now I look like the idiot.
I don't know.
All right.
Hold on, maybe I just screwed that up.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I don't, but just, you can get it to me, I'm sure.
Nothing's better than grandstanding and then you're like,
I'm like,
yes.
I'm 100% certain we can make this happen if technology is what I think it is. And
boy.
do I know technology.
Yeah, Jeremy's really good with the technology. He knows that it exists.
Okay, I just sent it to both of you.
Nice.
My God.
You dumb sons of
I-
bitches. I sent it to
I
him.
need to clip this. Hold on. I gotta clip this.
I sent it to him months ago. You stupid fucks.
Hey, all I will say is I receive as good as I give. How about that? I will take criticism on stupid shit like that without complaint.
I just want you to know, I have a timestamp in here. It says 150 to 156 Aaron faced. That's what the timestamp is.
So I actually sent it to...
Okay.
I sent Kenny my address and then I pinned it so he'd have it. That's what I was thinking of. Fuck, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
You got
We'll
the
blame you
dementia.
on that.
Yeah.
Got the dementia.
Yeah, I actually think I might. And I'm not joking. But that's a serious
You
conversation.
might have
for later
dementia?
today. Well, so my grandfather just died from it. Well, he died from complications, and it was
Yeah.
significant dementia. I just wonder at what point, if I were to start exhibiting signs of dementia. Is it 40s? Is it 60s? I don't know. But I definitely do not remember everything as well as I did when I was younger. But do I just think I don't remember it? Or do I actually not remember it? I don't know.
Maybe you just misremember how well you used to remember.
See? Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Aaron, we'll still love you, and no one here is going to know if you have it or not, because we're all fucking crazy, so.
Including me. Yeah, you're right.
All right. If you're going to be at Warfare, come say hi. We'll be the people in the black and the green yelling at each other. So we'll see you.
Later.
I'll be in the slightly inappropriate Logan and Storm jersey.
What? If you're actually going to wear a jersey, I need to know in advance. Oh, that's right.
Gave
You're gonna
mine
wear
away.
That's right. Oh, I meant to ask you guys. I talked to Jeremy about this. Do you want a commemorative jersey that says like WTC 2023 Copenhagen on the back?
No. But
no, okay.
I might want a patch. Like I might want
to put on
a
like
permanent
another shirt.
jersey that like I don't never trade away, and then I could put patches to the events that we go to.
Well, so like I said, the elite play move is to figure out who you're going to trade with before you go and order a jersey in their size, and then you just take them one and you trade on day one.
Sure, but
yeah,
I'm not that.
Right. And also, like, who knows if you want to trade with somebody, And that's usually, like, I've been several times kind of thing, and I've already made a deal with somebody from last year to trade jerseys next year.
Right.
And so, like,
Yeah,
you've already got it lined up.
Yep. But no, so I would be
Yeah.
interested in a jersey with a patch that we could then add to. But I don't think I just want a commemorative jersey for the one event.
Yeah. Well, I just know because like you and Aaron and Perrin don't have jerseys anymore because you all traded them, right?
Perrin did not trade his.
Perrin did not. So I was going to ask Aaron if he wanted one. That way he'd be like, hey, look, I went and like you could keep it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or just wear it to places if you're like, hey guys, I was on the WTC. Like I was selected. Like,
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I
but
like that idea.
Same thing happens if I get a patch and I sew it onto my jersey, right?
It's true. You could get a patch.
Then I can get another patch.
Well, I think
patches.
the coolest thing about our
3
jerseys is that they're high definition printing. So like we could put whatever we want on them. Because I'm definitely getting a new one for next year. Anyway, goodbye everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.